Hey, I just got out of a meeting and it was pretty cool. This guy's been in business for a handful of years, but he has a ton of back knowledge. He grew up in this industry, he's third generation in this industry, and it really showed when he started to talk. And as he started to explain what it is he does and what sets his business apart, it was clear that he was an absolute expert in this space. And I wanted to talk a little bit about that today, in this concept of how do you differentiate yourself and how do you stand out. Now for him, in his business, he recognized that there was a market gap in his industry, and so he went in and filled that niche. And for him, that niche was pretty tight. It's in the construction industry, and it's some special certifications, but then also some special products that he was able to acquire, and working on some older homes in a way that most business owners simply couldn't do. And because he was able to find this gap in the market, he's able to command a price that no one else can when he's filling that gap. So a thought for you is, what gaps do you see in your market? Are there gaps of places where other business owners don't want to fill that space? And if so, by you filling that space, are you providing a real benefit? A few episodes back, we talked about this concept of building a solution to a problem, but then we also talked about, does your solution actually help people in a way they want to be helped? And in that example, we were talking about using a ferry boat and building a ferry boat. And if you're trying to ferry people across the river, but there's a bridge just downstream from you, no one's probably really going to want to use the ferry boat solution that you come up with, because there's an alternative solution. So you've got to make sure your market gap truly is a market gap, and that people would actually want your solution when you're out there promoting it to your target customer. But if you find those market gaps and you're able to effectively communicate that you fill that market gap, and you're able to communicate in a way that helps customers really trust you, and in a way that solves their biggest concerns and fears, you're probably going to build a really solid reputation, almost to the point where you've got a moat around your business. And a moat is one of those things that's hard for your competition to replicate, so it's hard for them to come in and steal your customers from you. So again, this idea of finding those market gaps, taking the effort to find out what a good solution is for your ideal customers, and then building that solution out, can pay rich dividends for a long time for your business. Now, another thing that really helps differentiate is when you're figuring out who you're serving and how you're serving them, making sure that you can concisely identify a few of these key elements that set your business apart. We just ran through this exercise in our own business, where we were looking at some of the things that we thought set us apart and realized our ideal customers actually care about a few other things. So the best way to figure out what it is that customers or potential customers that you want to serve care about is think back to those conversations. Figure out the questions that they ask over and over. You'll find these consistent threads through those conversations, and when you answer those questions effectively, it starts to close the deal. When you can identify those and you can bundle those together and say, we do business this way, we solve the problem this, we answer this question. Doing that and setting yourself apart by identifying those and having the answers ready and promoting those answers to your ideal customers is going to do a ton to drive additional traffic to your business in a way that really differentiates you and puts you in a whole nother class from all your competitors. It moves you from competing on price to competing on the benefits that they're going to receive. And when you're able to do that, it is very difficult for competitors to come in and steal your market share. So a great example of this is, we've had a ton of customers over the years that have asked us, how long does it take to do the job? And we know that the job usually takes this time frame, and we've been able to figure out how to do the job in a smaller time frame than many of our competitors will even take before they start the job. So that usually leads people to a little bit of shock when they find out, oh wow, you can have it done before they'll even start my project. That's really cool. Then that usually leads people, in the case of this business that we were just reevaluating on, where they'll ask, well, can we see some of your work? And so we've made it a point to put our work out there so people can see the kind of work we produce. And when they see the quality that we produce, and they see that we can get the job done faster than our competitors, and they understand some other key elements, like they're going to be in full control of the process. They're in control of the finished product. They own what we build for them. Like, those are some differentiators that really, really matter to people, and they will grab onto that and hold that, and then they use that as the measuring stick. If they go out and get other bids, they'll ask your competitors, they'll say, hey, what about this thing? This other company does it this way. And when the other company says, oh no, we're in control, or no, our timeline's 5 times that long, it really makes your business shine like a star compared to all the other options. So in conclusion, I invite you to take a little bit of time, evaluate some of the past conversations you've had with potential customers, discover what it is that really makes them want to do business with you or makes them scared of doing business with you or your competitors, and build good solutions that solve their problems in the way they want solved. That's one step. Next is look for market gaps. Fill those gaps in a way that your ideal customers want those services to be performed, and you do those 2 things, and it's really going to, like I said earlier, build that moat around your business so that you can weather any storm.